Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Both Israel and Hezbollah face accusations of breaching ceasefire deal. The US says it believes truce still holds. French government faces collapse as left and far right submit no confidence motions amid budget dispute. Vote likely to take place on Wednesday. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi to dedicate successful implementation of 3 new criminal laws to the nation in the North India's Chandigarh. And in sports, 7th game between D. Gukesh and reigning champion Ding Liren in the World Chess Championship today. After 6 rounds, both players are tied at 3-3. Updates on West Asia conflict. First, Israel and Hezbollah exchanged strikes as ceasefire violations mount in the region. Israel's military said on Monday that it was currently striking terror targets in Lebanon, where a fragile US brokered truce with Hezbollah began last week. The announcement comes after Hezbollah attack earlier in the day targeting an Israeli military position in a disputed area on Israel-Lebanon border, the group's first since the truce took effect on Wednesday. The Israeli military says that it attacked dozens of Hezbollah targets in Lebanon, but said Israel remains obligated to the fulfillment of the conditions of the ceasefire agreement. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said on Monday that Israel would respond strongly after Hezbollah, citing repeated Israeli ceasefire violations, carried out a strike on an Israeli military position. However, the United States said it believed that a ceasefire was still holding in Lebanon and that it was looking at potential violations. The US State Department said on Monday that the ceasefire in Lebanon has been broadly successful, adding the United States and France will look at reports of potential violations in coming days.
Broadly speaking, it has been successful in stopping the fighting and getting us on a path where we are not seeing the just daily loss of life that we had seen for 2 months prior. Now, with respect to violations or potential violations of the ceasefire, we set a mechanism up to look into this very question, where the United States, along with France, will engage with the Israeli military, will engage with the Lebanese military to look at potential violations. What we are doing is engaging through this mechanism to look at all of these reports of violations of the ceasefire and deal with them through the channels that the mechanism set up, and that's what we'll do over the coming days.
Meanwhile, the US Secretary of State Antony Blinken met with Israeli Minister of Strategic Affairs Ron Dermer. During his meeting, Blinken reiterated the importance of ending the Gaza conflict. Israel's military said on Monday that an American-born Israeli soldier believed to have been taken hostage during the Hamas October 7 attacks last year had in fact been killed during the attacks, and his body had been held in Gaza ever since. Omer Neutra was born and raised in the United States and served in Israel's military as a tank commander during the attack by Hamas in October. Israeli leaders, including Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and President Isaac Herzog, offered their condolences to the Neutra family and vowed to return his body along with other remaining hostages from Gaza. US President Joe Biden also issued a statement eulogizing Neutra and highlighted his dedication to building peace. US President-elect Donald Trump said on Monday there would be hell to pay in West Asia if hostages held in the Gaza Strip were not released prior to his January 20 inauguration. During their deadly 2023 attack on Israel, Hamas-led militants captured more than 250 people, according to Israeli tallies, including dual Israeli-American nationals. Roughly half of 101 foreign and Israeli hostages still held incommunicado in Gaza are believed to be alive. Syrian and Russian jets have intensified air attacks in Idlib city and positions in Aleppo as the government of President Bashar al-Assad tries to slow the advance of opposition fighters. The raid on Monday followed big gains by the opposition over the past few days that has greatly shifted the front line in Syria's long-running conflict. The dramatic advance by a coalition of Syrian opposition groups led by Hayat Tahrir al-Sham has slowed in the past 24 hours. However, opposition fighters are still on the outskirts of Hama, south of Aleppo. Elsewhere, they have seized most of the city of Tel Rifat, where Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces are calling for a humanitarian corridor to allow Kurds to safely evacuate. The UN said on Monday that at least 48,500 people have been displaced across Syria's Idlib and northern Aleppo. The government of French Prime Minister Michel Barnier is facing collapse after right and left-wing parties have promised to put forward a no-confidence vote against it amid budget dispute. France's far-right leader Marine Le Pen said on Monday that her party, the National Rally, tabled a no-confidence motion against Barnier after he moved to force through budget measures without parliamentary vote. Left-wing politicians have also said they will introduce a similar motion. The left-wing coalition and RN have enough votes to topple the Prime Minister. They are expected as early as Wednesday.
We are tabling a motion of censure and we are going to vote it because the French people have had enough. They have had enough of being thrashed. They have had enough of being mistreated. Some way we thought that with Michel Barnier, things would get better, but they were even worse. We cannot leave the situation as it is. And so we are going to use the strength given to us by our 11 million voters.
Demain, un budget.
The opposition now has 24 hours to table a no-confidence motion. The vote could take place as early as Wednesday. No French government has been forced out by such a vote since 1962. Barnier struggles to get the 2025 budget through a deeply divided parliament, threatened to plunge France into its second political crisis in 6 months. He urged lawmakers not to back the no-confidence vote.
I think we have finally reached a moment of truth, which puts everyone in front of their responsibilities. It's now up to you, the nation's lawmakers, to decide if our country adopts a responsible budget bill, indispensable and useful for our fellow citizens, or if we rather enter into unknown territory. I sincerely think the French will not forgive us for putting the interest of individuals before the future of the country.
Interestingly, in France, only one no-confidence motion tabled since 1958 has been successful in toppling a government. As you can see on the graphics on your screens, the government was that of Georges Pompidou. French President Emmanuel Macron meets with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman in Riyadh during a 3-day state visit focused on strengthening diplomatic and economic ties. French President Emmanuel Macron arrived in the Saudi capital Riyadh on Monday as his government looked close to collapse. Macron was welcomed to the royal palace in Riyadh by Saudi Crown Prince, attending a welcome ceremony and holding a meeting. Back at home, far-right and left-wing parties submitted no-confidence motions on Monday against French Prime Minister Michel Barnier. Barnier's fragile coalition will be the first French government to be forced out by a no-confidence vote since 1962 if no-confidence vote goes ahead on Wednesday as expected. US presidents traditionally dole out pardons as they leave office. But Joe Biden's full and unconditional pardon of his son Hunter is a rare instance involving a family member. Presidents have also used their constitutionally mandated pardon powers over the years on close friends and political allies.
Bill Clinton granted a pardon to his half-brother Roger, who had served time in prison on 1985 drug charges on January 28, 2001, his last day in office. And Donald Trump pardoned Charles Kushner, a fellow real estate magnate, whose son Jared is married to Trump's daughter Ivanka at the end of his first term in the White House. Trump, now president-elect, nominated Kushner, who pleaded guilty in 2004 to tax evasion, witness tampering, and making illegal campaign contributions, to be the next US ambassador to France. One of the most controversial pardons in recent years was that of former President Richard Nixon by his successor in the White House, Gerald Ford. Ford granted a full and unconditional pardon to Nixon, who was facing potential prosecution over the Watergate scandal on September 8, 1974. Trump is the first former president convicted of a crime, that is, falsifying business records to cover up a hush money payment to an adult star. But he will not be able to pardon himself because the case involves state and not federal charges. Hunter Biden, who has struggled with alcohol and drug addiction, is the first child of a sitting president to receive a pardon. Bureau Report, DD India.
Romania's constitutional court on Monday validated the shock first-round result in country's presidential election. It will set the stage for a runoff vote on December 8, and that could upend its pro-Western orientation and undermine backing for Ukraine. The ruling clears the uncertainty that has hung over the nation since the court demanded a vote recount last week. The first round of the presidential election on November 24 saw independent Călin Georgescu emerge from relative obscurity to become the frontrunner. It raised suspicions of outside meddling in the electoral process of a country that has been a staunch ally of Ukraine. Georgescu will now face centre-right contender Elena Lasconi in December 8 runoff. On Sunday, Romania held a parliamentary election with the ruling leftist Social Democrat Party leading but far-right parties gaining a third of seats in the new legislature. Who gets to form the government will ultimately depend on who wins the presidential race, since the president designates a prime minister. Ireland's general election concluded late Monday after 3 days of vote counting. The incumbent centre-right parties Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael set to retain power following coalition expected to take place in coming weeks. With all 174 seats in the lower chamber of parliament decided since Friday's vote, Fianna Fáil on 48 seats was well ahead of the main opposition, the left-wing nationalist Sinn Féin on 39, with Fine Gael in third on 38. But support for the Green Party, the third coalition partner of the outgoing government, collapsed. The election was also marked by a failure of far-right candidates to enter parliament for the first time. Ireland is one of the few European Union members without any large established far-right party. But for the first time, immigration became a prominent issue during this election campaign. The US State Department has approved the potential sale of equipment and follow-on support for MH-60R Seahawk helicopters to India for an estimated cost of $1.17 billion. The Pentagon said in a statement that Lockheed Martin will be the principal contractor. The statement stated that the proposed sale will improve India's capability to deter current and future threats by upgrading its anti-submarine warfare capabilities. The Biden administration's approval of sale of major defense equipment to India comes weeks ahead of the completion of its 4-year term. As the climate change continues to be a significant problem worldwide, the United Nations top court began unprecedented hearings on climate change on Monday. The hearing at the International Court of Justice is aimed at setting legal guidelines for how countries should protect the planet against climate change and help vulnerable nations combat its devastating impact. On the first day of hearing, the representatives of vulnerable nations told judges that a handful of countries should be held legally responsible for the ongoing impacts of climate change. Over 10 days, the 15-member court will hear arguments from representatives of nearly 100 countries, including China and the US, the two biggest national emitters, before issuing an opinion on states' obligations regarding climate change. 2024 on track be the hottest year on record and the first to cross 2.7 Fahrenheit. As per the European Union's Copernicus Climate Change Service, last year in 2023, the world registered a shocking record of 1.48 degrees Celsius above the pre-industrial level. This year is expected to top that, potentially reaching above 1.55 degrees Celsius on average. Nearly 200 countries committed in the Paris Agreement to limit warming to as close to 1.5 degrees Celsius as possible. While these records do not mean we have breached the Paris Agreement's target, scientists expect the world will cross that threshold by early 2030s. Carbon dioxide emissions from burning coal, oil and gas are the main cause of global warming. Countries at November's COP29 summit in Baku adopted a $300 billion a year global finance target to help poorer nations cope with impacts of climate change. A deal its intended recipients criticized as woefully insufficient. In western New York, a small town, Fredonia, is experiencing a community-driven cleanup effort after over 2 feet of snow blanketed the village over the weekend. Fire department highlighted on Monday the unusual snowfall prompting increased staffing to ensure safety. Local businesses in fact are actively assisting residents by clearing driveways and ensuring the community remains connected and safe. Fredonia State had cancelled classes on Monday to prioritize students and staff safety. And still to come on this edition of DD India Live, we give you all the updates related to Cyclone Fangel. India's Oscar submission Lost Ladies is a comedy film telling a universal story. Elon Musk's $56 billion pay package for Tesla blocked again. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. Shifting focus now to Cyclone Fangel, which is wreaking havoc across parts of South India. Heavy rainfall from the Fangel cyclone has inundated numerous regions in North Tamil Nadu, prompting widespread school closures across multiple districts on Tuesday. The severe weather conditions have led to extremely heavy rainfall and flooding in several areas in Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, causing local authorities to take immediate protective measures. According to the Weather Department, the system is likely to develop further and move into southeast and east central Arabian Sea near Kerala and Karnataka coasts. Kerala is expected to witness light to moderate rain across most regions, with heavy to very heavy rainfall in northern and central districts today. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin, in a social media post, has informed that Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in a telephonic conversation, inquired about the damage caused in the state. The Tamil Nadu CM has requested the Prime Minister to depute a central team to undertake a comprehensive assessment of the damage and sought financial assistance. December 4th is celebrated every year as Navy Day. As a report by our correspondent Nandita Dagar from Puri in Odisha, where President Draupadi Murmu will be witnessing the Navy show on Navy Day.
The Indian Navy celebrates its Navy Day on 4th of December every year. Why on 4th of December? Because in the 1971 war with Pakistan, the Indian Navy's missile boats absolutely lethally destroyed the Karachi harbour with their bombings, and that was Operation Trident. So this year too, on 4th of December, on the beach in Puri, the Blue Flag beach in Puri in Orissa, our President, Mrs. Draupadi Murmu, will be witnessing this Navy shore operational demo by the Navy, which will show how combat ready, cohesive and future ready the Indian Navy is.
The Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces, President Draupadi Murmu, will witness the operational demonstration by the Indian Navy on Wednesday. The theme for the Navy Day this year is Combat Ready, Credible, Cohesive, Future Ready Force. The Navy have been deployed in the Gulf of Aden, southwestern Indian Ocean and the Arabian Sea for anti-piracy operations and to provide security to the crucial commercial sea routes. The Indian Navy remains the preferred security partner and first responder in the Indian Ocean region. In February this year, the Indian Navy conducted the multinational Milan at and off Vishakhapatnam, where about 50 navies participated. It further strengthened the Indian Navy as a true blue water force in the Indian Ocean region. The Indian Navy also engaged actively with friendly countries and conducted a large number of bilateral and multilateral exercises, proving its reach, sustenance, and logistics capability. Indian Navy has provided humanitarian assistance to Tanzania after Cyclone Hidayah and to Myanmar in the aftermath of Typhoon Yagi. Navy teams were also engaged in relief and rescue operations in the aftermath of landslides in Wayanad, Kerala, and flooding in Karnataka, Telangana, and Andhra Pradesh. The Navy commissioned its second nuclear-powered ballistic submarine, Arighat, this year. The Navy has set up 2 task forces to focus on infusion of emerging and disruptive technologies, AI, ML, robotics, quantum computing, etc. The Navy is a flag bearer of Make in India, 62 ships and 1 submarine being constructed in various Indian shipyards. The Narendra Modi government has approved the construction of 2 nuclear-powered submarines to be designed and constructed indigenously. Indian Navy's commanding presence in the high seas ensures safety and security of India's maritime interests.
Several platforms such as choppers, such as the MH-60Rs, you can see them in action. The Navy is also constantly acquiring new assets. It is not just a brown water Navy, it is a blue water Navy with significant deterrence for India's enemies, and it is also protecting India's maritime interests. With camera person More Mukut Sharma in Puri in Odisha, this is Nandita Dagar for DD India.
News now from the world of entertainment. Indian director Kiran Rao's 2024 directorial film Lost Ladies is India's official entry at Oscars 2025. The film carries the hope and pride of the nation to shine on global stage. Director Rao and Lost Ladies producer Amir Khan attended a promotional event of the film in London. More in the report. All right. And before that, let's get you visuals from Chandigarh now, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi assessing the progress and impact of the newly implemented criminal laws. Well, this is a historic occasion where we'll witness the successful implementation of 3 transformative criminal laws in India. These are the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita, and Bharatiya Sakshya Adhiniyam. These are the visuals you're getting on your screens from Chandigarh. Well, these laws, which came into effect on 1st of July 2024, have brought about a seismic shift in India's criminal justice system. On your screens is India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi and also Home Minister Amit Shah. These are the visuals we are getting for you from Chandigarh. Like I said, a historic occasion where we witness the successful implementation of 3 transformative criminal laws in India. And these are the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita, and Bharatiya Sakshya Adhiniyam. The key idea behind these reforms is to focus on justice rather than mere punishment. The goal is to create a society that is secure and an India that is developed. For viewers who have just tuned in to DD India, on your screens are the live or are the visuals. In fact, we have got it for you from Chandigarh, and on your screens, on your television screens, is Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah. This is a historic occasion where we witness the successful implementation of 3 transformative criminal laws in India. These are the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita and Bharatiya Sakshya Adhiniyam. These laws, which came into effect on 1st of July 2024, have brought about a seismic shift in India's criminal justice system. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision is clear: to remove colonial era laws and transition to a more modern, just and transparent legal framework. The key idea behind these reforms is to focus on justice rather than mere punishment. The goal is to create a society that is secure and an India that is developed. The theme of today's program, Secure Society, Developed India, from Punishment to Justice, underpins this progressive approach. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah. These are the visuals from Chandigarh, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi will dedicate to nation the successful implementation of 3 new criminal laws: Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita and Bharatiya Sakshya Adhiniyam. The motive of conceptualization of these criminal laws is to remove the colonial era laws which have continued to exist many years after independence. And it's done to transform the judicial system by shifting focus from punishment to justice. These laws have brought about a seismic shift in India's criminal justice system. Also shows Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision to remove colonial era laws and transition to a more modern, just and transparent legal framework. The theme of today's program is Secure Society, Developed India, from Punishment to Justice. This is a demo which is being shown in front of India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah. And we've been joined by our correspondent Abhishek Mahajan, who is there in Chandigarh. Hi Abhishek, what latest are you getting for us? I think we are trying to reconnect with our correspondent. Meanwhile, for the viewers who have just tuned in to DD India, on your screens, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah in Chandigarh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will dedicate to the nation the successful implementation of 3 new criminal laws: Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita and Bharatiya Sakshya Adhiniyam. And we have reconnected with our correspondent Abhishek Mahajan, who's there in Chandigarh. Hi Abhishek, what's the latest that you're getting for us from Chandigarh?
Talking about 3 criminal laws, Siddharth, which is Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita, and also Bharatiya Sakshya Adhiniyam. You all know that came into effect on July 1st this year. So this was primarily the vision of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to remove the colonial era laws, and post-independence, Siddharth, these laws were continued. But yes, I mean, like Amit Shah also said when he had come here in August this year, that this will change the entire infrastructure, and we have seen also I mean, if you talk about the features, I mean, zero FIR is there. In the live demonstration also, this is being shown that how it has changed the dynamic, how everything has been integrated online. I mean, there are apps also that have been launched by Home Minister Amit Shah, Sakshya app, which records everything on the server, in the sense that everything is videographed, everything is photographed, and that is uploaded on the server also. So basically, I mean, dedicating to the nation the successful implementation by Chandigarh, like I said, that first among all the states and union territories to be fully compliant with the laws, and they have taken the lead in 3 criminal laws, like I said, being Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita, and Bharatiya Sakshya Adhiniyam. And yes, I mean, after this, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the gathering here at Punjab Engineering College, and I mean, there's a huge crowd. I mean, 5,000 people are here to witness Prime Minister Modi, and yes, I mean, this is a big thing. I mean,
absolutely, Abhishek. Absolutely, and Abhishek, also, you know, theme of today's program: secure society, developed India, from punishment to justice, underpins this progressive approach, in fact, and we mark the dawn of a new era where these laws bring India's legal system into the 21st century, Abhishek.
Absolutely, and the same thing was, I mean, Amit Shah, Home Minister, also said the same thing, that this will be the biggest reform of the 21st century. And I mean, if you see, Siddharth, I mean, everything has been done online. I mean, if you talk about virtual courts, if you talk about, I mean, the trial was done. I mean, if you see in the visuals also, I mean, there's a court that has been set up, and there's a virtual court. I mean, the witnesses there virtually. I mean, trial is being done virtually, and judgment is also. I mean, if I talk about the statistics, I mean, last 5 months, 900 FIRs have been launched, and the biggest challenge for the Chandigarh police, when I was speaking with the SSP and the DGP, they were saying that the biggest challenge was to map the FIR from the previous laws, that was Indian Penal Code, and how successfully, I mean, it is a big transformation, so that how successfully they have been able to make it. And like you said, the theme of this program is, yes, secure society, developed India, from punishment to justice. And the new criminal laws, I mean, basically aim to make India's legal system more transparent, efficient, and adaptable to the needs of the contemporary society.
Definitely, Abhishek, and you know, in fact, we are playing you know, the visuals of the live demonstration which Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister also witnessed, you know, simulating a crime scene investigation, you know, showcasing how these new laws function in real life scenarios, which clearly goes on to show that how significant these 3 new criminal laws, and in fact, you know, completely aligning with the theme from punishment to justice, Abhishek.
Yes, Siddharth, I mean, that was primarily the focus also. Earlier the focus was more on the punishment. If you talk about the sections also, those sections have been transformed. Now the focus has been on the justice, and from the stage, I mean, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address people at the Punjab Engineering College, basically he will give the example, he'll set the precedent in the sense that how Chandigarh has been able to adapt these new criminal laws in just over 4-5 months. And last in August, when I mentioned earlier also, in August when Union Home Minister Amit Shah had come here, then he said that it will take only 2 months for Chandigarh to implement all 3 criminal laws, and how fast and how quickly they have been able to adapt. And like I was saying, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will act as a cue, it will act as a precedent, it will act as Chandigarh will act as an example that how quickly it can be adapted, and how other states also can take a cue from Chandigarh, and that's how the laws can be fully implemented. And yes, Chandigarh has done an excellent job, but 45 minutes exhibition, so that if we talk about that again, it's a live demonstration how technology has been integrated. You talk about zero FIR, you talk about modern equipment, how videography is done, And it's very interesting, like I said, I mean, virtual courtrooms have been set up, how judgments are being given, and there were 8 murders, there were 8 demonstrations, in fact, that's going on, 8 demonstrations have been set up, and there's one murder scene also, which has been beautifully demonstrated by the Chandigarh police. I mean, but it's amazing. I mean, the lockup has been also set up, but yes, these 3 criminal laws has completely transformed, and gone are the days when India used to follow the colonial era. The laws.
Indeed, Abhishek, and these laws, they came into effect on July 1st, 2024. Abhishek, they have brought about a seismic shift in India's criminal justice system, and in fact, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision is clear, to remove colonial era laws like you were also mentioning, and transition to a more modern, just and transparent legal framework. Abhishek.
Absolutely, Siddharth, like you said, I mean, gone are the days when India used to follow those laws, and I mean, it's been 4-5 months. I mean, we talk about 1st July, I mean, it's been 5 months and 2-3 months for Chandigarh to implement it, and yes, like I said, to assess the progress and impact of the newly implemented criminal laws, seriously positioning the city as a pioneer in India's criminal justice reform, Siddharth. And yes, I mean, Chandigarh has hosted PM Modi, and like I said earlier also, Prime Minister Modi will share the insights, will tell, I mean, will give the example of Chandigarh and tell the nation that yes, Chandigarh can do it, the other states can also do it, and how quickly Chandigarh has been able to do this and successfully implement it. And yes, reviewing the progress of 3 newly introduced criminal laws and to completely overhaul the India's criminal justice system, and an exhibition, like I said, about the 3 new laws, and it has been displayed at the venue for Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And after this exhibition for 45 minutes, Prime Minister Modi will address here, the gathering here, 5,000 people are here, and before Prime Minister Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah will also take, and there's a short video also, Siddharth, that will be played, which will showcase how Chandigarh has been able to successfully fully implement the 3 new criminal laws, and Chandigarh Police currently giving a detailed presentation on integration and functioning of various applications under the new criminal laws.
Definitely, Abhishek, and Abhishek, these laws not only change how justice is delivered, but also, have a profound impact on the relationship between law enforcement and the citizens they serve. Abhishek, can you hear me?
Yes, Siddharth, I can.
I was saying, Abhishek, that these laws not only change how, justice is delivered, but also, they have a profound impact on the relationship between law enforcement and the citizens they serve.
Absolutely, Siddharth. Ultimately, I mean, it's good for the society, and that's why these laws, colonial era laws, have been completely, previous laws have been removed, and new laws have come into place. And I was talking about the new applications also. Siddharth, we need to mention that Nafis application is a very prominent application where the fingerprints are taken and directly go into the server, and the Sakshya app, I mean, the videography is done, the photography is done at the site, and then it is in no time it gets uploaded to the server, and I mean, witnesses are coming online virtually, and judgment is being pronounced virtually. I talked about zero FIR also. I mean, the Prime Minister's visit here in Chandigarh, Siddharth, is also expected to offer further insights into how laws are reshaping the criminal justice process in the country, and it has completely transformed Siddharth. I mean, we need to focus on the live demonstrations, Siddharth. Beautifully, Chandigarh Police, how they have portrayed, I mean, the lockup has been set up, the courtroom has been set up, and Prime Minister also keenly watching, keenly hearing what Kamardeep Kaur, the SSP, Senior Superintendent of Police of Chandigarh, is, I mean, beautifully explaining how it has been transformed.
Indeed.
What all has been done in the last 4-5 months to fully implement the new 3 criminal laws.
Definitely, Abhishek, and since you are there in Chandigarh, you've had a word with citizens there. What are they saying? What are they saying on these 3 new criminal laws?
Oh yes, so that of course. I mean, people are happy. I mean, people have seen the change. And yesterday I was talking to a few of the people. I mean, they were saying that the response time of the PCR, which is the best across India, I think. I mean, they were saying that. I mean, they were explaining. They were giving their own example that something happened, some mishappening happened, and they immediately called the PCR. I mean, it was there in 3-4 minutes, and then they were only telling me that the response time, they have never seen this happening before. The response time was so quick. Yes, Chandigarh is a small city, but yes, the response time of 3-5 minutes is commendable to that. And yes, it will take time for people to understand these laws, but yes, I mean, when you talk about, when you tell them that everything has been done virtually, I mean, protecting about the witness also, that according to these 3 laws, witness, he doesn't need to go he doesn't need to be physically presented at the court, which is the biggest thing, I think, when we talk about witnesses. Even if he's staying outside India, he doesn't need to come physically, and he can, in fact, give everything. I mean, he can talk virtually, he can join virtually, and how this has transformed. I mean, this is a complete overhaul to that. And yes, like you said, I mean, people are happy, but yes, it will take time for them to understand these 3 new laws, because it's not that easy. Yes, Chandigarh has been able to fully implement, but yes, it will take time for people to fully understand it.
But absolutely phenomenal, Abhishek. Whatever you are telling, it certainly seems like that people are very much happy with these laws, new criminal laws, and they are very comfortable. This is the most important part. They are not scared. They are now comfortable. And you know, these laws, Abhishek, not only change how justice is delivered, like I was saying, but also have a profound impact on the relationship between law enforcement and the citizens they serve. And also, we can see the increased use of technology here, Abhishek, in investigations, you know, ensuring that a justice system remains adaptable. Abhishek, are you with me? Can you hear me? I believe we have lost connection with our correspondent Abhishek Mahajan, who is there in Chandigarh and very closely following this particular coverage. But he was just mentioning it to us that people, the citizens in Chandigarh, are very happy with these, with the implementation, you know, with these 3 new criminal laws. And in fact, they're very happy, they're very comfortable, they're not scared, you know, like earlier times. For all our viewers who have just tuned in to DD India, on your screens is India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi and also Home Minister Amit Shah in Chandigarh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will dedicate to the nation the successful implementation of 3 new criminal laws: Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita, and Bharatiya Sakshya Adhiniyam. And the motive of conceptualization of these criminal laws was to remove the colonial era laws which have continued to exist many years after independence. You know, this was done to transform the judicial system by shifting focus from punishment to justice. And I think we have now been connected again to our correspondent Abhishek Mahajan, who is there in Chandigarh. Hi Abhishek, you know, I was just telling you that how happy the citizens are. Whatever you just told us, I can just get it with that. And also we can see the increased use of technology, Abhishek, here in investigations, you know, ensuring that a justice system remains adaptable and, you know, efficient.
Yeah, so the focus has been on technology. In the presentation, the theme Secure Society, Developed India, from punishment to justice itself tells a lot of stories, in the sense that PM Modi had a live experience of how law enforcement, forensic teams, judicial authorities and prisons have become more efficient and technology-driven since the law's implementation. And yes, I talk about the live demonstration, Siddharth. The exhibition kicked off at the police control room, where PM Modi witnessed how crime reporting is received and then acted upon in real time beautifully. Like I was saying, how Chandigarh police has beautifully portrayed the crime scene. And we talk about in detail, Siddharth. The first scene basically involves reporting of a murder and robbery case where the nearest GPS-powered PCR van, along with the Central Forensic Science Laboratory, which is CFSL, is dispatched immediately to the scene. Siddharth, we were talking about the response time and how everything is done, how everything is videographed and photographed. And when it moves to the crime scene, the second stage shows how the Sakshya app, like we were talking about, digitally records all the evidence from the crime scenes. It takes the photos also, videos also, it takes the timestamps also, which are then sent directly to the court. In this scene, basically, the forensic team collects the crucial evidence while the victim's daughter identifies his body. And then moving on to the third station, then PM Modi is introduced to the Chitra Koji, which is a facial recognition tool integrated with the Nyaya Setu app. And talking about this tool, Siddharth, this allows the police to quickly match the facial images of the CCTV footage against a national database of over 10 million individuals. Provides rapid leads in the investigation. And then the piece I was talking about, which is National Automated Fingerprint Identification System, is also being demonstrated, which matches the fingerprints found at the crime scene with criminals in the national database, which enables quick identification and the arrest. And the scene shows that the police managed to identify and apprehend a suspect in connection with the murder. So this is how the live demonstration is being portrayed to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And so that, yes, a key part of the demonstration takes place at the fourth station at the government multi-speciality hospital. A specialty hospital has been made where the application is introduced. And the application digitizes the post-mortem reports, which is PMR, and then medical legal reports, which is MLR, allowing them to access from anywhere, which we were talking about earlier also, how modern technology has been integrated in the new criminal laws. And then moving forward in the fifth scene at the Central Forensic Science Laboratory, PM Modi observed the use of QR codes, in fact, for maintaining the chain of custody for evidence. So every item of evidence submitted to the Central Forensic Laboratory is scanned, and then its details are logged in the system, ensuring the transparency and the accountability. And the next station, of course, demonstrating the efficiency of the e-prosecution system, which is an online platform that enables the prosecution to review and scrutinize charge sheets faster. And the director of the prosecution at the exhibition highlights how cases like the murder case, which was under review, are managed and processed electronically, eliminating the paper-based delay. So this is the complete overhaul present system, Siddharth, which we never thought about and which has been implemented. And yes, like I was saying, that Chandigarh, first among all states, and also the union territories to fully compliant with the three new criminal laws. And then the next station, Siddharth, takes PM Modi to the jail, where the focus shifts to the prison system. And here the jail staff demonstrates the application of new criminal laws that allows for early bail consideration once a prisoner completes 1/3 of their sentence. So another app, the Nyaya Shruti app, enables video conferencing and prisoner hearings, eliminating the need for physical transportation, improving security, and then saving time and resources. And then talking about the final scene that takes place at the district court, which I was explaining earlier also, where PM Modi observed a live trial demonstration. Here, the session judge conducts a trial and the proclaimed offender who is abroad, despite the absence, the trial proceeds, emphasizing the new laws that allow trials to continue without delays, ensuring justice is not obstructed by the accused location. So wherever the witnesses, wherever the accused is, here the trial can happen virtually also, and the conviction can also happen. So when I was speaking with the SSP yesterday, she was saying that over 900 FIRs have been reported in the last 5 months, and 4 convictions have also happened. So the prosecution uses the digital evidence, CCTV footage is being used, Sakshya app documentation, the Nafiz app to support their case. While if you talk about the scene again, that the defense claims that the evidence is fabricated. So the judge upholds the new criminal laws by limiting adjournments and then ensuring quick and efficient verdicts. So the trial concludes with all 3 defendants being sentenced to life imprisonment. So this was primarily the live demonstration, the 8th scene that Prime Minister Narendra Modi witnessed, and like I said, the demonstration will be followed by PM Modi's address to over 4,000 to 5,000 attendees, including the Chandigarh police force, the newly recruited IPS officers from across the country are also here, and also the senior officials of the Chandigarh administration, senior officers of the home ministries. Home ministries are also here, and yes, like I said earlier, Home Minister Amit Shah is also there along with Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and you arrived yesterday, in fact on Monday, a day before Prime Minister Narendra Modi came here to Chandigarh.
Definitely. So Abhishek, use of technology, everything with proof and justice at the earliest. In fact, Abhishek, with new laws like Bharatiya Sakshya Adhiniyam, gathering and presenting evidence becomes quicker and more reliable, like you were also mentioning, reducing the chances of a wrongful conviction, Abhishek. Abhishek, can you hear me? Abhishek, can you hear me? I think we have lost a connection with our correspondent Abhishek Mahajan, who's there in Chandigarh. We are trying to reconnect with Abhishek Mahajan, DD India correspondent. Like he was just mentioning that with the use of technology, everything is with proof now, and justice at the earliest is promised with these 3 new criminal laws, which are Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita, and Bharatiya Sakshya Adhiniyam. On your screens, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi and also Home Minister Amit Shah. In Chandigarh, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will dedicate to the nation the successful implementation of 3 new criminal laws, Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita, and Bharatiya Sakshya Adhiniyam. The motive of conceptualization of these criminal laws was to remove the colonial era laws which have continued to exist many years after independence, and this was done to transform the judicial system by shifting focus from punishment to justice. The theme of today's program is Secure Society, Developed India from Punishment to Justice. The theme clearly says that these are for secure society, developed India from punishment to justice. That means justice at the earliest, the introduction of technologies, everything online, like our correspondent Abhishek Mahajan was mentioning. The theme this time is Secure Society, Developed India from Punishment to Justice. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah in Chandigarh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi dedicate to nation the successful implementation of 3 new criminal laws, and these are Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita, and Bharatiya Sakshya Adhiniyam. The motive of conceptualization of these criminal laws was to remove colonial era laws. We are trying to reconnect to our correspondent Abhishek Mahajan, who's there in Chandigarh. But for all those viewers who've just tuned in to DD India, on your screens, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah in Chandigarh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will dedicate to nation the successful implementation of 3 new criminal laws, and these 3 new criminal laws are Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita and Bharatiya Sakshya Adhiniyam. These laws, which came into effect on 1st of July 2024, have brought about a seismic shift in India's criminal justice system. And in fact, Prime Minister's vision is clear: to remove colonial era laws and transition to a more modern, just and transparent legal framework. I think I'm being told that our correspondent Abhishek Mahajan has joined us again from Chandigarh. Abhishek, I was just telling our viewers that, use of technology, everything with proof and justice at the earliest.
Absolutely, Siddharth. Focus has been on giving the justice earlier. The focus was more on punishment, so that is the theme also of this event. Basically, the conceptualization of the 3 laws was in fact, like we're saying, was driven by the vision of the Prime Minister to remove colonial era laws, which had continued to exist after the independence also, and primarily, talks are going on to remove these laws, colonial era laws, and to completely transform the judicial system, and by shifting focus from punishment to justice. And the theme of this program, like we have been discussing, for that secure society, develop India from punishment to justice.
Yeah.
The biggest challenge was that to do everything digitally. We all have been using the digital tools. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been talking regularly about how to use digital technology efficiently, and the challenge was how digital technology can be integrated here, and that's why in these 3 laws, these mobile applications also play a significant role. Videography, photography, like I was talking about, trials also going on virtually, convictions, the judgments also, and the timeline also, to that. This has to be the prime focus, that we used to say earlier, 30 days timeline for the charge sheet. Judgment timeline has also been revised. So this is a significant step, along with how technology has been integrated in implementing.
Definitely, Abhishek. And Abhishek, in fact, I was just telling our viewers that what you were telling us, that when you had a word with people there in Chandigarh, they were really, really happy, and they said that we are not scared anymore. We are very much comfortable and happy.
Right, so that's the aim primarily of these 3 new criminal laws, to make India's legal system more transparent, more accessible to the people also. People should understand wherever they are sitting, even if they are not here, they are abroad. Even if Siddharth, you don't need to go to file the FIR physically if you are not. If you're not there, if you're not comfortable, you can. There are customer care numbers. You can call them up, and that's how the zero FIR came into place. But yes, in 15 days time of the zero FIR, you need to go to the police station to be physically present there. But yes, how convenient it is. You don't need to be scared of anyone. Witness also said that. We have been hearing since we were children. How witness have to be protected. It's been portrayed everywhere. that how will you protect the witness, and now special security has been given for the protection of the witness also. And witness, yes, Siddharth, they don't need to go physically, they can join virtually also. So this is the biggest integration, this is the biggest change that we have seen, and regularly that we talk about, that how India's legal system has become more transparent, efficient, and also adaptable to the needs of the contemporary society. So these are the landmark reforms, Siddharth, and yes, it marks a historic overhaul of India's criminal justice system, bringing in, like we have been discussing, new frameworks to tackle the modern day challenges, modern day technologies, such as cyber crime. The challenges that we talk about are cyber crime, the organized crime, and ensuring justice for the victims of various offences. Remember, not the punishment, but the justice. So this program is all about that, and yes, Chandigarh has taken the lead in implementing these 3 new criminal laws. Like we said, especially BNS, which is Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, and why Chandigarh has been chosen, because it has been able to successfully implement these 3 new laws in no time, in 3-4 months time. And Home Minister Amit Shah had said in August that it would take only 2 months for Chandigarh to fully implement these 3 new criminal laws, and they have been able to do it successfully. And yes,
Indeed.
like I was saying, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, it is his vision, and yes, when he comes to address the gathering, he will definitely, he is likely to say that yes, Chandigarh has been a biggest example, and other states and union territories can take a cue from Chandigarh to how fully implement these 3 new criminal laws, and how technology can be integrated,
Indeed.
how modern day equipment can be used so that they are completely
Indeed.
able to justify the overhaul of these 3 new criminal laws.
Abhishek, indeed, it's a historic occasion, and we heard that many people are expected to attend it. Tell us something about the event.
Sorry, I couldn't get you, Siddharth. Can you repeat your question?
Yeah, definitely. Abhishek, indeed, I was saying it's a historic occasion, and we have also heard that many people are expected to attend this event. Can you share some details?
Yes, Siddharth. The event is happening at Punjab Engineering College. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi just witnessed the exhibition. The exhibition was for almost 40-45 minutes, and he will come here to address Punjab Engineering College. Around 4,000 to 5,000 people are here. Like I said, senior officers of the Home Ministry, newly recruited IPS officers are also here. SPG, I mean the security, we didn't talk about security. The security was tight, and Prime Minister Modi, when he came here to avoid the travel chaos, Siddharth, he landed here by helicopter, and then it was just 500 meters that he took the road, and then he came here to the venue. But yes, Siddharth, around 5,000 people are here to attend the event of Prime Minister Modi, and yes, they all are excited. They all wanted to see the exhibition, and a big screen has been displayed for them, so that because the venue of the address and the exhibition, it has been divided into two places, so they were not able to directly witness the exhibition, so a big screen has been displayed for them, so that they are able to witness the live demonstration and the exhibition that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been witnessing. And yes, they are very excited to have a glimpse of PM Modi, and when Prime Minister Modi speaks, the nation listens. The nation, whatever question people have, Siddharth, PM Modi has the answer for all of that. And yes, and like I said, it was Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision, and yes, big applause for Chandigarh, how they have been able to implement the laws in no time.
Definitely, Abhishek. Like the way you are mentioning, it certainly seems like everyone is very, very excited. It's a historic occasion, like I just mentioned. 5,000 people, you've just told us, are expected to attend the event. You know, around 5,000 people are already there, in fact, at Punjab Engineering College. Abhishek, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision for a reformed justice system is now becoming, a reality. In fact, it's clear that these reforms will redefine the way justice is administered in India. Abhishek.
Yes, Siddharth. We have explained it all. How it has changed, how now technology has been integrated. Why Chandigarh? Why everyone's question is why Chandigarh has been chosen? Because it is the first among all states, all the union territories to be fully compliant with the laws. Prime Minister Modi has been currently reviewing the progress of three newly introduced laws, three criminal laws that we have been talking about. Chandigarh Police gave a detailed presentation on integration, how it has been functioning, various applications under the new criminal laws.
Okay, Abhishek, did you also talk to the people who are present there at the event? How happy they are, how excited they are to listen to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, to see a glimpse of Prime Minister? You said that 5,000 people are expected to come. That's a big number, and not all of them, would see Prime Minister, very closely. So for that, screens have been put up. What are they saying? Did you have a word with them?
Yes, Siddharth. They are, like I said, they are excited to hear Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and yes, he'll be talking about three new criminal laws, how Chandigarh has been able to fully implement it, and how the law enforcement, judicial procedures, evidence management has been streamlined in the last few months. On 1st July, these three new criminal laws were introduced, and also, showcasing the working of Sakshya app, Nyaya Setu, Nyaya Shruti, e-summon application, which, remember, Siddharth, is developed by the National Informatics Center in partnership with the National Crime Records Bureau, and to assess the progress and also the impact of these three laws, new criminal laws. In fact, it is positioning the city as a pioneer. Like I was saying, Siddharth, that it will act as a cue that how other states and union territories can also implement and follow the example of Chandigarh, positioning the city as a pioneer in India's criminal justice reform. So, a recent announcement by Amit Shah, like I was saying earlier also, that Chandigarh will achieve 100% implementation of the new laws within 2 months. He had said that in August, and how quickly Chandigarh has been able to adapt and integrate the technology and functioning of these three new criminal laws. And PM Modi, when he speaks, Siddharth, he is likely and expected to offer further insights into how the laws are reshaping the criminal justice process in the country. And the apps, like I was saying, Siddharth, were developed under the guidance of the Ministry of Home Affairs in partnership with the National Informatics Center and the National Crime Records Bureau, which is NCRB. So, Union Home Minister Amit Shah is also with PM Modi. Apart from the VIPs, senior officers of the Ministry of Home Affairs are also present at the event. Newly recruited IPS officers are also here. They are also part of the gathering. And yes, Siddharth, the exhibition that we spoke about, the live demonstration that we discussed about, that Prime Minister Modi is also very keenly watching that exhibition, and the Senior Superintendent of Police of Chandigarh explaining how these three new criminal laws have been fully implemented. And yes, we need to appreciate how Chandigarh, a small city, but a planned city and already well equipped, and the UT also, Chandigarh UT has very less number of police stations also comparatively. It is easier in terms of technological advancement also It has a good infrastructure and low crime rate also. So this primarily answers that why Chandigarh has been chosen and why very quickly, I mean, they have been able to implement the 3 new criminal laws also. But yes, Siddharth, people are here all waiting for Prime Minister Narendra Modi's address. Big screen, like I said, has been displayed here for everyone to witness how Prime Minister Narendra Modi is keenly watching the exhibition and also the live demonstration. Before Prime Minister Modi, Union Home Minister Amit Shah will speak, will give his address, and then after that a short video will be played, and yes, then Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the gathering here.
Definitely, Abhishek. You know, excitement is certainly in the air, like the way you are mentioning it to us. 5,000 people are expected to attend the event, which is a big numbers. Not everyone will get a closer look of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So big screens have been put up there at the venue, at Punjab Engineering College. Like I just mentioned, over 5,000 people are expected to attend the event, and people who are there are very, very happy. For our viewers who have just tuned in to DD India, in Chandigarh, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah is there. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will dedicate to the nation the successful implementation of 3 new criminal laws, and these are Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, Bharatiya Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita and Bharatiya Sakshya Adhiniyam. These are the visuals that you have on your screens from Chandigarh, and you can see Prime Minister Narendra Modi and also Home Minister Amit Shah. The event is happening at Punjab Engineering College. The excitement is certainly in the air. People are very, very happy. As our correspondent is mentioning, they are just, pretty much keen to have a glimpse of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. 5,000 people are expected to attend the event. There are big screens which have been put up because, like I just said, not everyone will have a close look of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. But people are very, very excited. Big screens, like I just mentioned, have been put up. These 3 new criminal laws are very, very significant, from technology to everything with proof to justice at the earliest. These 3 new criminal laws will ensure that people get justice at the earliest, because justice delayed is justice denied. And these 3 new criminal laws will ensure that people, the citizens, will get justice at the earliest. And these 3 new criminal laws will be implemented everywhere very soon. But this time around, Chandigarh has been chosen as the place. Why? Let's ask our correspondent Abhishek Mahajan, who is there, with us. Abhishek, tell us the significance of why Chandigarh has been chosen, as a place this time around for this occasion.
Yes, Siddharth, like I said earlier also, first among all states and the union territories to fully comply with the laws. It's a small city, but just a very planned city, and less number of police stations also. And yes, Home Minister Amit Shah had said in the month of August that Chandigarh will be able to implement it in 2 months' time, and yes, and how quickly in commensurate with the 3 new criminal laws, Chandigarh police has been able to integrate technology and they have been able to implement these 3 new laws fully. And these are the landmark reforms, Siddharth, and like you said, it indeed marks a historic overhaul of India's criminal justice system. Indeed. And bringing in new frameworks to tackle that we have been speaking about again and again, the modern day challenges. And laws, Siddharth, would prove to be the biggest reform by India in the 21st century. And yes, after the complete implementation of these laws, India definitely will have the most modern and technology-equipped criminal justice system in the world.
Indeed, Abhishek, if you are at the venue, can you describe how's the atmosphere there like?
Yes, Siddharth, 4,000, 5,000 people are waiting for Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address the event, to address the gathering. They all want to have a glimpse of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And yes, Siddharth, one point we need to mention here that the live demonstration that was going on, the people who are waiting here for Prime Minister address, they were not able to. They were able to see it on mute. But yes, again, there was a pin drop silence, and they were all keenly watching how the live demonstration is being carried out, how the murder scenes are being displayed, and how beautifully Chandigarh police has been portraying this and explaining it to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. It was a big exhibition in the sense that courtroom was also established, lockups were also set up, and there was a dummy murderer also, who was there.
Definitely, Abhishek. Like you were also mentioning, Abhishek, that it will take a little time for people to understand it completely, and that was the reason that live demonstration, which simulating crime scene investigation was showcased, and it showcased how these new laws function in real life scenarios, so that people will get a fair idea of how it will be done.
Oh yes, absolutely, Siddharth. When we spoke to the people, they knew about the three new criminal laws. They were happy that Chandigarh, their own city, has indeed the first among all states and union territories to implement this fully, and they were very happy that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is coming again to address and coming to Punjab Engineering College to address. A handful of people wanted to get in. They were even, in fact, asking us, in fact, how we can get the entry of Punjab Engineering College. But yes, this shows the enthusiasm. This shows how important it is for them, for Prime Minister Narendra Modi to come there to their own city. And yes, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is about to address Siddharth now. People will get